Assalamualaikum. We are Group 2 from BA244A. Today we are present about the Asian Economic Community. Our group consists of 5 members, which is Aiman bin Azman, Nur Ain Binti Ramli, Zalia Binti Zamzuri, me, myself, Nurul Athirah Binti Aziz, and the last one is NurNabila Izzati Binti Muhammad Azman. Our topic we're going to highlight for today, firstly is issue, next is positive consequence and disadvantages, and finally the suggestion about the issue of Asian Economic Community. Now let's simply take a look at the background of Asean. Asean was first formed in 1967 by Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Since then, Asean has added Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia. Next is what you need to know about the Asian Economic Community, that also known as AEC. It refers to the final goal of economic integration in the region. It was established in late 2015 by the ASEAN. The main goal is to create a stable and highly competitive Asian region. It envisions Asean as a single market and production-based, competitive region, equitable economic development, and fully integrated region in the global economy. As a rule-based organization, Asean will be strengthened and become more attractive as a single investment destination with harmonized trade and investment policy. EC vision, including a well-coordinated economy, the competitive and innovative Asean, improved connectivity and cross-sector collaboration, a region that is resilient, and Asean as a global organization. The AEC introduction indicates the beginning of a new dynamic process. That's all for the introduction. Next, I'm going to pass to the next presenter, Miss Nabila.
Assalamualaikum and hi, thank you Nurul Izzah for the introduction. So my name is NurNabila Izzati binti Muhammad Azman, and now we will look at the first issue, which is the high risk of unemployment in the ASEAN Economic Community. So unemployment can occur due to the imbalance in the labour market, which shows that the number of labour forces offered exceed the number of labour forces requested. So inflation is a fascinating economic phenomenon, especially when it comes to the impact of unemployment. So inflation and unemployment are the issues that affect every country's economy. So inflation is a common in undeveloped countries as well as ASEAN countries. So failures or shock in the country will generate price swing in the domestic market, leading to economic inflation. So the figure in the slide shown, the youth unemployment is 3 to 5 times higher than adult unemployment in 2019. So the unemployed youth face socio-economic development challenges. The fundamental problem with the youth unemployment is the large number of the youth entering the labour market each year, especially in the poor economies. Let's look at some cases on DHL logistics of things 2020, which is over 3.4 million young Filipinos who drop out of school are unemployed and risk into falling the poverty as their family continue to be trapped in vicious economic cycle. Poor people in Payatas, north of Metro Manila, eat leftover meat from garbage dumps. So the jobless teenager wandering at these areas. And not only that, for Malaysia City, up to 60% of graduates are unemployed. So Southeast Asian countries ranging from Indonesia to Cambodia are reporting increased youth unemployment. Next, I will pass to the next presenter for the next issue.
Thank you, Nabila, for the explanation. Okay, the next issue is AEC ability to address cross-legal and cross-cultural differences among the members countries. As the collaboration within the Asian member countries increases, the AEC will begin to accomplish aim of integrating the region's production base, particularly with policies such as free movement of goods and services and the elimination of a cross-border tariff. Each individual country that has their own different strength in a single marketplace. Furthermore, differences in the language, currency, and cultural would lead to some problems in the regional business structure. For example, the business is doing well, but the target market speaks a different language, and use a different currency. This is one of the barriers that needed to be faced among the country's members. Now, I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Ms. Izzah. My name is Mohd Aiman bin Azman and I will continue for the next part. Next is the issues in production and export activities. Economies that are complementary at the outset of economic integration face less resistance because there are less competition, while economies that are in competition face more resistance. For example, the economies that are already open and globalized will provide less benefits from economic integration, while economies that are closed will face difficulty from trade and investment liberalization. There was a limited trade among the Southeast Asian countries since they exported similar natural resource products such as rubber and palm oil due to the similar endowments and labor-intensive manufacture due to the similar low technological capability. Therefore, they competed with each other for the markets in the developed countries. With the rise of production networks in the region and constant rapid growth in the intra-industry trade in parts and components, economic complementary in manufactures developed among the ASEAN economies. And for the next part, I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi, and thank you Aiman for the presentation. Hi, my name is Nur Ain, and next we will move to the positive consequences of unemployment, which is it will positively affect individuals. Even though unemployment sounds negative, but it still have benefit from that, which is an opportunity to improve knowledge and to strengthen someone's credential. So when someone is pursuing their study and attending college too, it is impossible to balance the responsibility of full-time job with those of attending college or university. Other than that, someone who is unemployed are free from morning commute, which is they won't have to wake up so early in the morning to beat the rush hour traffic anymore. Also, they are free to spend their morning engaging with activity related to their interests, such as gardening or reading, or even doing some exercise routine. Lastly, a person who is unemployed will get the opportunity to spend time with their children, their family members, or their friends. So if you don't have a job, you will have more time to devote to your family and the activities at your children's school. So that's all from positive consequences of unemployment, and I will pass my turn to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ain. Hi, I am Nur Binti Zamzuri. Now we'll continue the presentation about the positive consequences on how AEC benefits the Asian nations. The cross-border between the 10 nations has helped in contributing into the obtainable benefits, as each country in Asia have their own capabilities which vary. For instance, due to different geographical areas, number of people in their countries, and natural resources, each nation in Asia has their own varied advantages. This is because the Asian nations individually have a diverse set of structural capabilities, natural resources, and labor skills. For example, Singapore has emerged as a financial and legal powerhouse that offers easy access to investor capital and a well-established legal system known for its rule of law. Countries like Indonesia have extensive natural resources in a variety of sectors, while Vietnam, Myanmar, and Cambodia still maintain as attractive labor markets. As cross-border trade continues to increase and tariffs continue to loosen, companies should consider the AEC as an opportunity to integrate production processes and take advantages of each country's unique resources and abilities. Other than that, the AEC may also allow for increasingly creative corporate structures. As some example, companies can establish a series of specialized subsidiaries in the various Asian countries, which may include a regional headquarters or joint ventures with local businesses. With reduced cross-border tariff and free movement of goods, such structures can realize the comparative advantages that each country has to offer. Next, I will pass my baton to Mr. Aiman to continue this presentation.
Next is ASEAN Economic Community benefits companies and industries. ASEAN Economic Community allow companies to gain benefits, especially the companies that already have regional or global network, due to the ease of moving goods, capital, and labor around that help to reduce costs and improve productivity. For example, financial sector companies tend to gain from the increase in trade and investment flows, plus providing business opportunities for financial institutions. Besides that, the US education sector also able to gain as ASEAN household incomes increase, as currently the students from ASEAN countries contributed over $1.4 billion to the US economy. Furthermore, products produced by ASEAN such as cosmetic and electronic goods should benefit from the efforts to harmonize standards and certification for intra-ASEAN trade. And for the next part, I'll pass to the next presenter.
The disadvantages of high risk of unemployment in the ASEAN economic community. Firstly, it will cost to the individual, which the greatest economic cost of unemployment is loss of income. Even individuals qualify for unemployment benefit, but other government aid find it insufficient because it only replaces 50% or less of their regular income. That suggests that they are consuming their income far less than usual. Secondly, it will cost to the society. So the greatest economic cost of unemployment is the decrease in goods and services that occurs as a result of unemployment. When unemployment is widespread, argument for protectionism and immigration restriction rise. Protectionism can lead to destructive retaliation among countries and undermine all trading partners' economy. And study shows that times of elevated unemployment may correlate both with less volunteerism and higher crime. Lastly, it costs to the country. The economic implication of unemployment become obvious when examined through the lens of the national budget. Unemployment might rise, state and a federal contribution for unemployment insurance, food stamps and medic aid will also increase. For example, Indonesia GR 37/2021 introduced the country's first ever unemployment benefit program, which provide the cash stipend and training to the unemployed. So unemployment is bad for the economy. Even those who receive government assistance are unable to spend as much. This workers' production departs the economy, reducing the GDP and preventing optimal resource allocation. So next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, NurNabila, Izzati, Binti, Azman. So, as we know that the individual countries have different strengths within a single marketplace, many of them have local restriction or prohibition on foreign ownership of locally incorporated entities. Additionally, variations in the regulation of corporate affairs such as shareholder, capital, and even language requirements will all present challenges in pan-regional corporate structures. As it matures, the AEC may continue to see cross-border simplification with issues such as incorporation requirements, multilingual applications, and even standardized procedures. The subject of conflict resolution within ASEAN is as complicated as any. This is because Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Vietnam, and Thailand, they all follow civil law. Meanwhile, Singapore, Malaysia, and Myanmar have inherited English common law precedents supplanted with local legislation and decision-making. Meanwhile, Brunei follows a dual system of Sharia and common law. As the dispute resolution for each country are different, it may cause confusion to individuals party that do not have a clue about the regulation. Next, I will pass my presentation to Ms. Ain.
Moving on to the disadvantage of similarity in production and export activities, it will create highly competitive environment which most likely to force the company to take any risk to improve their products or business to be more competitive and become right from the others. Thus, this will affect how they react to the improvement. Next, when a company tries to boost out the output at minimal cost, they may overlook the safety side. For example, there are some factories out there that release unfiltered manufacturing gases which can create air pollution. Lastly, when the organization try to cut down their expenses, similarity might pose ethical and societal difficulties. For instance, child labor can cause physical and mental injuries and death, which it can lead to exploitation and slavery. So that is all from disadvantage, and we will continue this with some recommendation.
Thank you, Ain, for the explanation. Now I will proceed with the suggestion. The first suggestion is localized experiences. A successful cross-border strategy starts with the customer journey itself, which includes welcoming and serving customers in their own language and currency. Language barrier is one of the factors that should be emphasized. Furthermore, the issue of currency, businesses can push the product to a local marketplace and have a distributor to localize the brand according to the local requirement. A successful cross-border strategy involves a local feature around the world that achieve a local characteristic. This can help to ensure the customer experience is good and culturally acceptable. That's all. I will pass to the next presenter, Mr. Aiman.
The next suggestion is to develop more economic integration. Economic integration is an agreement among nations to reduce or to eliminate trade barriers. The purpose of economic integration is to reduce the cost and increase the trade between the countries involved in the agreement. Therefore, ASEAN countries should develop more economic integration with developed countries such as Japan, China and South Korea. Is it because most of the developed countries help a lot in the economy of ASEAN countries? By developing more into the economic integration, it helps to create more opportunities for other countries to perform import and export activities or to make investment in ASEAN countries. By doing so, it will help to reduce the cost of trade, improve availability of goods and services, and increase consumer purchasing power in member nations. And for the next part, I will pass to the next presenter.
Our last suggestion is to provide training opportunities to unemployed citizens. By giving these chances to them, they can try to improve their resume to increase their chances in getting job that they wanted. Under training program too, they can develop new skill set that can help them in industry job searching. Other than that, unemployed person should find their passion during their unemployment time because they might finally find what job that they wanted to do, that they love to do. Lastly, when a person joins the training program, they should be given allowance for their daily expense, especially for their basic needs. And that's all for recommendation. Thank you.
To summarize, the AEC's implementation represents a significant step toward a highly integrated Asian market. The AEC has a clear agenda of discrete and meaningful measures to achieve its aim of a single market, and international businesses should be optimistic about growing their potential in the area. So that is all from my team. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a nice day ahead. Thank you.